Hey everybody, this is Joseph Hasek and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the NHL Lowdown Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals preview with the one and only, the icon, the legend. I'm used to saying that now. Digit Murphy. Digit, first of all, how was your weekend? You got any swimming done in that pool?
Did a little backstroke, doing my thing. Woo! No, my weekend was great. Just enjoying the off season for women's hockey, but the on season for the NHL.
All right, Digit, I'm going to reveal some big surprise for you.
Big surprise.
As you know, Game 3 and Game 4 is in Sunrise, Florida, the Stanley Cup. You're about 20 minutes away from there, all right?
Yep.
I have secured, if you give me your digits, I have secured you some seats outside the arena.
Oh, thanks.
You could
No
sit,
problem.
you could sit on those lawn chairs, big screen like Maple Leaf Square and all that. You could hobnob with the best Floridians.
The best and brightest in the cheap seats. I like it. Those are the
All
best
right?
people. Those are my people, anyways.
By the way, if you want some media pass inside the arena, I'll talk to Keith Kachuk.
You
But he
hooked me
told
up.
yeah, but I'll talk to Keith Kachuk, whose father's Matthew Kachuk. But he told me I gotta wear like the mouth guard outside, right? Like I'm not used to wearing mouth guards.
You
wear
can't be
mouth
wearing
guards?
mouth guards. I only wore, back when I started playing, the only thing we had no shield. We had a mouth guard, little plastic thing that we wore. That was it, and a helmet. I'm dating myself, but that was the only protection.
Wow.
Goalies did not wear masks.
And there was no like shoulder pads and all that. And that brings, I always talk to my friends about this. Here we go. Nowadays, last 10, 15 years, everybody was talking about concussions. You're telling me goalies who took pucks off their head and their thing never had a concussion? 1950, 60, they weren't playing with helmets. There's nobody concussions. There was no talk of concussions and all that.
Well, that's because now everyone that has a concussion is crazy. They didn't have. The kind of medical technology they have now. So when Florida wants to score and they really dig down. I think if you watched a couple of those mishaps, okay, there were two of them. One was number 21, I think it was. I got to get better with the names. He's in the crease and he just kind of thought he was going to get it. Instead of, you got to lean on that stick, right? And it's got to get in. And then there was another opportunity, same thing. You cannot be lax. You have to really, when you're in that crease, no matter how far out the goaltending is, they say it ain't over till it's over. They missed those two critical opportunities. And if that had happened, outside looking in a victory Vegas, I pick Tampa. Panthers, the other Florida team. Panthers are going to win, and they're going to win by 2 tonight.
So it's 4-2, something like that.
Yeah, I can't. I'm going to get away from the actual calls because I can be more right then.
I like. I don't know. I don't know if you saw Paul Maurice's press conference afterwards. He said, "We lost the game. Calm down." This is a coach that is superb, because if he was still in Toronto, everybody, oh my God, you lost. Are you going to lose or no? And he's like, yeah, well, we lost the game. We gave away pucks. We'll come back here. And then he said something. I like the feistiness in our team after a 2-week layoff. So he saw something positive, and you're the coach here. Through everything bad, you have to relay the positive on your team. So anybody who watches that from the team, like, okay, we played like crap, all right, and like crap in the third period, but our coach still believes in us, and the players always play for the coach.
Yes, absolutely. And I beg to differ that they played like crap. Okay. I think that they played like a team that was, sick of pucks not going in the net. They played a little frustration, but they ended on a high note, in my opinion, by just taking it like Kachuk getting kicked out. They're like, yeah, that's what's going to happen to you next time, right?
Yeah.
Next time you get on this ice with us, we are going to come at you. And I agree with you. I think Paul Maurice is a master at owning the dialogue and owning the message that gives his players confidence and makes them come back with just another chip on their shoulder or another edge that they need to come in. That's why he's here right now, is because he brought that edge from an eighth place seed to now Stanley Cup. And I told you at the beginning of this whole Vegas Panther series, Cassidy's going to have a defensive structure that's going to give Panthers fits, and that's what he did. However, Panthers blew it. They could have had a couple of goals that broke their back. They didn't do it. Panthers execute. They win by 2 tonight, 1-1 going into Florida.
All right, so I'm going to ask you this. Just coming down the pike here earlier on today, the Montreal Canadiens signed Cole Caulfield, 22 years old, to an 8-year, $62.8 million deal. So 22 years old, 62.8 million, and it's not Canadian. All right, so 62.8 is like 100 million Canadian. All right. What do you say?
I can't. It's ridiculous, in my humble opinion, as someone that is watching what is happening in the world, tearing itself apart, Ukraine, all this stuff. I'm sorry. I always have perspective. And I think that he has a great agent. Good for him. He has a great agent. That guy is dialed in. That guy got it done, or gal. I'm pretty sure it's a guy. And, good for him. But, let's keep hockey. Let's keep sports in perspective. That's way too much money for anyone to make. Anyone. And, I don't want to talk about life, but I will, is that we have bigger fish to fry in this world. But good for him. We've got a hockey player making 62 million. Woo, let him put some of that into some of the women's sports that we have. How about that? How about you take some of that money and do some good at 22? Maybe it's good the 22-year-olds are making this much money. Maybe they'll put it into global warming or something like that. But Joe, at the end of the day, it's too much money for one person to make. But good for him at the same time.
I agree with you 1,000,000%. And the point of the question was, Cole Caulfield, $62.8 million.